Radio.
When evil walks the streets of Boston, one man lurks in the shadows, shielding the innocent, judging the guilty. That guardian is the Silver Shroud. Today's episode, a slaying in Scully Square.
Just down this alley.
Well. Looks like someone got lost on the wrong side of the tracks.
Gotta stare.
Yeah, wrong side of the tracks.
I'm just meeting a friend. No business of yours. Perhaps I'll just call him. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Not so fast, fancy pants. Your wallet and that snazzy briefcase you're carrying. Hand 'em over, now.
I most certainly will not. Do you have any idea who...
Oh, jeez Louise, why'd you go and do that?
'Cause he could have made us, that's why. You want to spend another stretch in the pokey? Now, let's see what's in this fancy case.
What? Good neighbor ain't good enough for you? Go check out.
Nothing. Papers, no cash, it's worthless. Ah, get his wallet. Suit like this has gotta have something.
Killer get that, huh?
All right.
Ever been
Let's
to Killer
see,
Be
20
Killed?
bucks, a driver's
looking weapons.
license.
Yes?
Oh, man. We done it this time. You know who this is? We just wasted Mayor Murphy.
What? The Mayor Murphy? What in the blazes was he doing up here? Up in Scully Square?
A mystery, to be sure.
Yeah?
Who said that?
What?
Show
Got a
yourself.
staring problem.
You have murdered a man in cold blood. Justice must be served. It's the Silver Shroud! Let's get out of here!
Well,
I ain't afraid of the Silver
Mr.
Shroud.
Valentine.
You hear me?
I
Come out and
could
I'll
have
do you
forgotten
like I
about
did the mayor.
May have walked
Death
out of
has
the
come
door.
for you, evildoer, and I am its shroud.
Hey, take this. You're gonna need it.
Ah!
Your thoughts?
The open road and a loaded weapon.
It's about time for you to go, McCready.
I think you're making a huge mistake, but hey,
What brought
it's
you
your
to
funeral.
Scully
You
Square,
change your mind.
Murphy?
You know where to
A
find
journey
me.
that left you dead and Boston leaderless. Why venture? Emerge from the shadows,
Nick,
villain.
let's go
or
talk
face
to
the
Amari.
justice of the Silver
Let's see
Shroud.
what Amari is up to.
What will become of our
Follow
stalwart
me.
hero? Find out what happens next week on another exciting episode of The Silver Shroud.
Hey, Valentine.
Let's go talk to Amari.
You've been listening to Galaxy News Radio, a wholly owned subsidiary of Galaxy News Network.
Here for Amari. She's downstairs.
Irma.
Whatever you and Nick are up to, I don't
When
need to know.
evil walks the streets of Boston, one man lurks in the shadows, shielding the innocent, judging the guilty. That guardian is the Silver Shroud. Today's episode, the mystery of Mayor Murphy.
What's this all about?
Slowly now. Reveal yourself.
Silver Shroud. Fret not, old friend. It's only me.
Mistress of mystery. What brings you to Scully Square on such a foul night?
I didn't hear that.
Tracking our
What?
dear Mayor Murphy, who is up to some mischief.
The mayor. So
There
he
we go.
wasn't here in some kind of official capacity.
Hardly. Here, let me show you. The contents of the late mayor's case.
These are real estate papers. Leases and deeds for most of the businesses in Scully Square.
We need your help, Doctor.
Indeed,
I
they
need the
are,
memories
my
from a man
intrepid
named Kellogg.
investigator. It would
But
seem
he's dead.
our mayor
I know it's asking for a miracle, Amari, but you've pulled off the impossible before.
Are you two mad? Putting aside the fact that you're asking me to defile a corpse, you don't realize that the memory simulators require intact, living brains to function.
And Mistress of Mystery and the Mayor.
Isn't there some way to make this work?
This dead brain had inside knowledge of the Institute, Amari. The biggest scientific secret of the Commonwealth. You need this, and so do we.
Fine. I'll take a look. But no guarantees.
I'll never talk.
Do you have it with you?
In over your heads.
How much of the brain do you need exactly?
That is not an encouraging question. I suppose I'll have to make do with whatever you can find.
Shroud this crime fighter.
Here's what I could find.
What's this? This isn't a brain. This is... Wait, that's the hippocampus. And this thing attached to it? A neural interface?
Those circuits look awfully familiar.
I'm not surprised. From what I've seen, all Institute technology has a similar architecture.
We'll let our quarry flee for now.
Nick's an older model synth. Is he compatible?
That's exactly what I was thinking. If we are lucky, it should hook right in. But even if this works, Mr. Valentine would be taking on a tremendous amount of risk. We're talking about wiring something to his brain.
Don't worry about me, Amari. Let's do it.
Indeed it has, old friend. Old.
I appreciate this, Nick.
You can thank me when we've found your son.
And now, we must
All right.
away.
Let's do this.
Whenever you're ready.
What will become of our stalwart hero? Find out what happens next week on another exciting episode of The Silver Shroud.
Let's see here.
You've been listening to Galaxy News Radio, a wholly owned subsidiary of Galaxy News
I need
Network.
you to keep talking to me, Mr. Valentine.
Galaxy
Any slight change in your cognitive functions could be better. Are you feeling any different?
When evil walks the streets of Boston, one man lurks in the shadows, shielding...
I can't make sense of any of it, Doc.
That's what I was afraid of. The mnemonic impressions are encoded. It appears the Institute has one last failsafe. There's a lock on the memories in the implant.
How do you lock memories?
The implant is encoding all the mnemonic activity in the hippocampus. Think of it like computer encryption. And we don't have the password. Let's see. A single mind wouldn't be able to crack it. But what if we use two? We load both you and Mr. Valentine into the memory loungers. Run your cognitive functions in parallel. He'll act as a host, while your consciousness drives through whatever memories we can find.
Any idea what I'm going to see in there?
I have no clue. But considering we only have a single piece of the medial temporal lobe and not the whole brain, I doubt it'll be cohesive.
All right. Let's get started.
Just sit down over there and keep your fingers crossed.
See you on the other side.
Initiating brainwave migration between the transplant and the host. Mnemonic activity coming from the transplant. It's degenerated, but it's there. We're going to load you into the strongest memories we can find. They might not be stable. Just hold on. Can you hear me? Ah, good. The simulation appears to be working, although the memories are quite fragmentary. I'll try to step you through the intact memories and hope we find one that gives us some clue to the Institute's location. 'Cause 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 There. This is the earliest intact memory I can find.
Turn down the goddamn radio! I'm trying to sleep!
Remember, you are experiencing
Such a
these
dummy
memories
back
as
then.
Kellogg. This
What did
may
I know
prove
about how the
disorienting
world
at
worked?
first.
I think now she wanted me to kill him. I should have. Instead, I ended up running away. I told myself I wanted to find somewhere out from under the thumb of the NCR and all their rules. But really, I was running from the guilt of not protecting her from Dad. It doesn't matter now, though. Mom knew how it was. She wasn't soft, but she loved me in her way. And she protected me from Dad. That cost her more than a few beatings. I never knew what happened to her after I left. I didn't want to know. Not then. People are always hoping for something better. They usually end up with something worse. Dad was either drunk or not around. I guess he must have run with one of the raider gangs, but I never really knew what he did. Don't know why Mom was with him. Maybe at some point in his life he wasn't a complete asshole. People are always hoping for something better. They usually end up with something worse.
What a joke.
What's it mean, Mom?
Nothing, Connie. People like to talk and hope someone else is going to keep them safe.
Teacher at school said the NCR would bring back the good old days. Like before the big war.
Don't you listen to that twaddle. I'm going to stop sending you if that's what they're teaching you.
I'm going out. Where the fuck did you put my boots?
Listen to me, Connie. You take this. You're old enough. You're the man of the family now. It's your job to protect us. Your father's useless, but you won't turn out like him. You're a good boy. And all that on the radio, all useless talk. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hands. You need to learn to use it if you're going to survive.
I will, Mom. I promise. I won't let you down.
You've always been my good boy.
This doesn't seem to be what we're looking for. There appears to be another intact memory close to you in temporal sequence. There. Try that one.
The thing about happiness is you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. You focus on the petty bullshit or next job or whatever. It's only looking back, by comparison with what comes after, that you really understand that's what happiness felt like. I thought San Francisco was my chance to start fresh. I was the hot shit, the gunslinger from the hub, rolling into town with the world at my feet. Everybody knew I was the one who'd shot Valdez. I could write my own ticket to any outfit in town. It all worked out pretty damn well. For a while. It's gonna be... I was the worst thing that ever happened to her. If she'd never met me, she'd have stayed in the hub, maybe hooked up with someone who didn't kill people for a living. Probably been happier than she was with me. Almost certainly lived longer. Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second.
You'll see.
But we don't know anybody here. And now, with the baby?
Come on, Sarah, you've got to give it a chance. I finally got steady work with a good outfit. Nothing like that in the NCR these days.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kind of green.
I know, but that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too.
I never worried about you before. Must be my mama instincts kicking in. Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her. And you don't need to worry about me. Most of it's just running security for the she. A lot of standing around looking tough.
Well, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
I know, Connie. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got her.
Let's keep looking. I'll connect you to the next intact memory.
It's gonna be fine. You'll see.
But we don't know anybody here. And now, with the baby?
Come on, Sarah. You've got to give it a chance. I finally got steady work with a good outfit. Nothing like that in the NCR these days.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kind of green.
I know. But that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too.
I never worried about you before. Must be my mama instincts kicking in. Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her. And you don't need to worry about me. Most of it's just running security for the she. A lot of standing around looking tough.
No, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
I know, Connie. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got her.
How did you think this was gonna end, Kellogg? You thought you could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
I found another memory to try. I'll connect you.
Mind if we sit down?
Suit yourself.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you.
And, you'll do this all by yourself?
That's right.
We pay you when the job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
Mr. Kellogg, I'm glad you decided to meet with me.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed.
We do.
The first synths weren't all that impressive. I'm good, but I'm not that good. But the Institute could always make more, and kept making them better each time. They still give me the creeps, but you have to get used to them if you want to work with the Institute.
As you can see.
You heard all sorts of rumors about the Institute. But I figured they were just a convenient boogeyman for anything bad that ever happened. They were real, all right. They didn't know anything about operating on the surface. Relied on their synths for everything. They had the resources I needed, and I had the expertise they needed. Turned into a permanent arrangement, which suited me just fine. I finally ended up in the Commonwealth. I kinda ran out of road. Plus, I'd come to terms with life. I wasn't gonna be stupid enough to get mixed up with caring about other people again. It was just me against the world. And the world had it coming. What do you want?
It's come to my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I could see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. B-748, initiate.
Systems offline.
Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something. We're running out of brain here. There's one that looks mostly intact. Connecting now.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis.
I was now the Institute's main operator in the Commonwealth. If they needed something done, they came to me. It wasn't usual for anybody from the Institute to come along on a mission, so this one stood out. I didn't know then who it was we were grabbing from the vault. Of course, neither did they. Not really. The eggheads never liked taking orders from a dirty, contaminated degenerate like me. But they needed me, and I made sure they knew it.
Vault computers are still working. That's good. Checking through the logs.
I never knew why we didn't just refreeze the rest of them. But we had our orders. Guess the old man didn't want so many loose ends. Too bad he left alive the one person he shouldn't have.
Hopefully it's all...
Just find it.
Pod C6, down the hall near the end.
Even then, I knew it was a mistake leaving him alive. I understood that kind of revenge. No one better. But I was cocky enough to assume I could handle some soft, pre-war vault dweller, even if he somehow got thawed out. At least I know those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them, too. If he could take me out, they won't be able to hide from him for long.
Memory. Whenever you're ready. Is that your son?
Wasn't my idea to
appears to be
settle
a very
down with the
recent
kid
memory.
in the middle of Diamond City.
Good news, I think.
I thought it was a terrible idea, actually. But it was one of the old man's pet projects, so here we were. Me and the kid. Like a happy little family. I ended up kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently. But there's no going back. I knew it was just temporary. It'd be back to normal business before too long. This whole setup in Diamond City was part of some elaborate plan of the old man's. Seems obvious now that we were bait for our friend from the vault. Timing couldn't have been an accident. It's not how the old man works. I wonder if he outsmarted me in the end. Another loose end tied up.
Kellogg.
It's okay. The new breed of synths could easily pass as human. Some of them did. But the coursers, they weren't built to blend in. They were killing machines, pure and simple. Smarter, stronger, and faster than almost any real human. I'm just glad they were always on my side. One of these days, you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here like that.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Wow. Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
My father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay.
It's all over, but the dreaming.
X688. Ready to relay with Sean.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready.
About how much
Slow movements, okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. How do you feel?
Am I okay? Are you seeing anything bad?
Don't be alarmed, but I honestly don't know what to look for. As I said before, this is uncharted territory, but your neural and physiological readings have returned to normal. From a medical standpoint, you're fine. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
You were along for the ride, weren't you? You saw what I saw.
Yes, but it's important we review everything together, in case either of us missed anything.
There's more than one person who knows about the Institute. Virgil, that's...
I didn't know Institute scientists could defect. This changes everything. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That can't be right. No one would risk going there. Not...
Why? What makes the glowing...
The name says it all. Radiation. So much that nothing there could... Navigating radioactive hazards is nothing new. But the glowing sea can kill a man in seconds. That's why it doesn't make sense. Virgil fleeing into that hell.
That's why he's there. To make the Institute think twice about following.
That must be it. He's using the radiation and the glowing sea like a shield, or a cloak. A way to throw them off and be at an advantage. If Virgil found a way to survive there, you'll have to do the same. If you're going to follow him.
How do I fight that much radiation, Doctor?
There are chemical compounds. Rad-X, Radaway. You'd need as much as you could carry. Maybe
sure.
A sealed environment suit would be great, if you could find one. Or maybe one of those suits of power armor? That would be perfect.
I'll find a way to get through the rads. Don't worry.
Good luck. And, by the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Removed the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
The memory den's not accepting new clients right now, sweetheart.
Nick.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. I was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
What did you say?
What? What are you talking about?
You feeling all right, Nick?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Huh. Mari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going.
Let's get going, Nick.
Been one heck of a ride so far. Let's see where it takes us next.